Hey, whatever Iggs teacher is watching, I'm just gonna jump right in and give my reactions to Birmingham jail. Also, I have all my annotations on my phone of the reading, so that's why I have my phone. Okay, so what's most compelling about King's argument to direct action? For me, it was the analogy about Hitler and obviously the Jewish people of Germany. I had never thought about it in that way, that everything Hitler was doing was legal. So in the eyes of the law, it was just. But obviously there's a moral law and then a regular law, and that kind of jumps into question too. But I guess you can't just because the institution says it's okay, it's just because you can have corrupt institutions. Look around at so many countries, or thinking how Trump can pick justices, and that can change what becomes the definition of just and unjust. So you kind of have to think from a bigger moral standpoint. I'm not religious, so a lot of the stuff they said about God didn't pertain to me, but that is a way that a lot of people can see them what is good and bad. Also, to answer more of that first question, kind of connecting it to the 21st century, I annotated something about COVID-19 on here. Conversely, one has a moral responsibility to disobey unjust laws. I would agree with St. Augustus that an unjust law is no law at all. And that doesn't necessarily remind me of something unjust, but I know that in COVID-19, a lot of people are suing J.B. Pritzker, or it's going to the Supreme Court to stay-at-home orders, and I don't necessarily agree with that, but people are taking these responsibilities, so they think the law is unjust, it's hurting their small business, they're suing, and that was just a recent connection. Not that I agree with them, but they are taking their own action. And powerful, I feel I already talked about unjust laws today, and unjust laws, I feel there's really, you have to spread awareness. You, can't be violent about them, a lot of, King said, you have to, have nonviolent action, but you have to, raise awareness that there's something wrong. I feel a lot of it today is, you inform people, and then, you have to let other people with the power know what's up, and, put pressure on them. And you can do that with economic pressure, that's what, they did with the voting, we learned about, in Lindsay's talk, about how black people couldn't register to vote because the economic pressure, how they would tell their employers that these people tried to register to vote. So a lot of it's the same today. If there's something you don't like I don't like the dairy meat industry, so I'm not gonna give them my money. That was kind of a weird example. There's so much on here. Oh my god, 3 minutes literally just flew by. I feel I answered a lot of it. I also like the idea of nonviolent tension is necessary for growth. That reminded me of our talks with Miss Savage Williams, and I forget the other woman's name, Miss Shavab, I don't remember. But that was the line, how there's this point where you're too comfortable and you can't grow, but then if you go above it, you're not comfortable enough to grow, so you have to be in this middle squiggly part, because that's when you're uncomfortable, but you're growing. And that's what I think King's nonviolent tension reminded people of. It put them in this uncomfortable circumstance. No one was being hurt, but there was pressure to do something about it. And that unjust laws have to be demanded by the oppressed. I hadn't necessarily thought about that too much, and that really stuck out to me in the reading. You can't be vicious, but it's the no one's just going to give away something that benefits them. You have to raise awareness, and people have to demand it, because people that have the power aren't going to be oh, well, now I realize this is unjust, here you go. Sorry, oh my god, I'm already over 4 minutes. I guess that's it. There's so much good stuff in here. I've read this a bunch of times throughout school, and I still learn new stuff, so that was cool. So hope you're all staying well and safe. What about Pino with a cone? Okay, that was unnecessary. Bye bye.